Okay, here we are again. We will be finishing the main story of Final Fantasy II today. And when we do, there will be a new option on this menu for Soul of Rebirth. It will just pop up for us. So, oh, not a whole lot. I got the maps up just now for Jade Passage and Pandemonium, but I'm not even sure if I need them, honestly. There's good reason why I have, it could just be, the rule of primacy and recency where you remember the first and last things you do when you do something that's like a long, complicated thing to do. So it could just be that, or it could be something else that I'll talk about when we actually get to Soul of Rebirth that's causing me to remember these maps better than usual, but I don't know. We'll figure it out as we go. And there's where we're at in terms of HP and MP. Not quite what you'd see in an NES version of this playthrough. If this was the NES version, Maria would probably have about 1,000 less HP than that, but the reason why is because the NES version of the game, and the PlayStation 1 version for that matter, the Origins version, you don't have automatic HP level ups every 12 battles, so you only get it when you get damaged a lot, and if you know what you're doing, you don't get damaged a lot, and then you end up with very low amounts of HP. So low, in fact, that if this was the PS1 version or whatever, well, we wouldn't have access to the Arcane Labyrinth, obviously, but if Maria got hit by a Flare 16 without a shell, she would die, so. But not in this version, because we have over 1,000 HP on everybody, so. We don't have to worry about that very much. Instead, we can just focus on our own stuff. And right now, my own stuff is marching directly into that lake directly above me, and giving the Emperor what for deciding to sacrifice the Son of Heaven, or whatever the hell he did to Satan when he took control in hell, because as I said before, can't imagine Satan gave him all that power willingly, and, I don't imagine that Satan would be just overseeing this, unless maybe he's controlling the Emperor from hell. I guess there's only one way to find out. Let's go to hell! How you doing, everybody? Welcome to the finale of Final Fantasy II, the stream edition. As I said a few minutes ago, this will be us completing the main campaign of the game. We did the Arcane Labyrinth last time. We actually explored a little of the Jade Passage the time before that, right at the end, so I'm going to kind of just quickly, I'm going to walk through the first two floors, but we've gotten all the treasures on the first two floors already. If you'd like to see me get those, you can refer to the last, 25 minutes or so of stream number 7. And, so we're going to go straight as we can to the end of the second floor, basement second floor, and just continue marching our way directly into hell. We'll collect up all the treasure on the way, and then we'll go from there. And this is just about the worst encounter I could have gotten right away, but, that'll happen, I suppose. Sehektais are the Amoeba palette swap. They are also resistant to matter elemental spells, and they have even more HP than the Amoebas do. So we're going to have to take them out 2 at a time, basically. So that is what it is, I think they can also, oh, maybe they don't have as much HP as I thought. I think they can also, use Drain and Osmos on you, which means it might be a good idea to practice a little Drain and Osmos while we're just hanging around here. And then go from there. I don't know how much more HP they have compared to, oh, that's all your MP, so don't worry about practicing Fury, and we'll get it in the next fight. If the next fight is one where you can practice that. I don't know if I could actually run from those guys, honestly. I've never tried. They're pretty good MP banks, though, so usually I feel like we're probably better off just killing them and doing that, So this one I should be able to Osmos pretty easily. These salamanders have a crippling weakness to Blizzard. It's like Red Dragon levels of crippling weakness to Blizzard, so we'll just put that through its paces again. Actually, Blizzard might come in more handy than I thought in here, because we've got Red Dragons, who are weak to Blizzard, and we've got Salamanders who are weak to Blizzard. Fire will have a few targets. Thunder will have one very big target. And then Scourge probably won't see too much use, but, you know, it's probably fine. It's done some work already for us, mostly with the stone golems, so. And if we see Blue Dragon again, which I think is possible, we might have a reason to use it. So, yeah, you gotta go all the way to the right wall first before you go up in order to get to the top right corner. And that is how you get down to a room that should look a little familiar if you were here last time, because we found a room with waterfalls in it just like this in the Arcane Labyrinth. It was where we got that Yoichi spell and everything else. So we can just make our way through here. All the doors in here are empty except for the very last one that I'm going to go through. So don't even worry about it. It's just a bunch of trap rooms with monsters all over the damn place in it, so... Hey Marie, how you doing? Welcome back. Why the fuck do you need the app to use chat? That's a good question. Twitch has made a few weird updates lately, and I think they're a little on the questionable side. Like, on the actual app, in order to see someone who is streaming that I'm following now, I have to be hosting them, basically. Like, I can't see them streaming from my homepage. They just give me a live feed of some random jackass with 2,000 viewers that I would never ever want to actually watch, playing some game that doesn't interest me whatsoever, and I can't see the people that I'm following from the homepage. I don't know why they decided to do it this way, but it's a really bizarre circumstance, and I hope they don't keep it because it's stupid. Thank you, Tipo. That shows exactly how we all feel right now. Let's open a chest and get an axe that we already have, but also a monster in a box. Oh, hey, big guy. I fought your bigger, burlier cousin last time. Let's see how you fare. Probably not much better, if I'm honest. Alright, so same strat as always. Get Protect up, mostly to give everybody the extra turn so they can get Blink and Haste up, get Berserk up next turn. And then just go nuts. King Behemoth doesn't have any magical attacks as far as I'm aware. It's just flat-out physical attacks. He'll just try to womp you like his arena cousin did. So, we'll just put Blink up and we'll be good. Oh, you missed the twist and the death? Yeah, that happened on stream number 7 at the end. We actually already went through the first 2 floors of the Jade Passage at the end of the 7th stream in order for me to get a dragon shield from the Cat Claws chest where you fight, what was it, Red Dragon or Blue Dragon? One of the dragons you fight in the Cat Claws chest. And I got it on the first try, and then I got 2 more dragon shields just randomly wandering around last time, so... Whoops, my luck might be a little... and I was saying, my luck might be a little too high right now because I actually need that luck for the... whatchamacallit, actually, that was almost 5,000 damage. Actually need that luck for Soul of Rebirth in order to get some stuff, but, you know, whatever, it's fine. Why is this theme so good? Oh my god, I love that boss theme, it's fantastic. It's just super awesome. I can never get tired of listening to it. Holy's at 9.5? Wow. Alright, Flare will definitely get to 9, but if we keep using Holy, it might get to 10. Okay, that's not bad. We'll get 1 level 10 spell out of this whole thing. Oh yeah, and we also found a second Defender Sword in the Arcane Labyrinth last time, Marie, so I can actually have Leon effectively dual wield at the end game here. He has the Defender and the Excalibur equipped, and he has 99% evasion as a result of it. So there you go. If you give him a Defender, he can actually dual wield and not be like 0% evasion. Has to be the Defender specifically. The Excalibur does not give that kind of evasion. We checked that already. The wiki's wrong about that one, unfortunately. But you can make an effective dual-wielding character. They just need to have the Mengosh or the Defender in their offhand in order for it to actually work. So, we found it. We figured it out. Dual-wielding in Final Fantasy II with low HP, at last. Also, behind the waterfall, okay, so he's actually to my right here, is an NPC that will buy and sell stuff. And he'll sell you Death, Berserk, Haste, and Flare. So if you didn't gain access to these from drops earlier, you can buy them here. Totally not worth it for Berserk specifically, though, because you can literally just fight magicians on the world map within, like, the first 2 hours of the game to go and get these, so they're not even rare drops from the magicians either, so I would say it's more worth it to just get them from them. Haste is cool, but not worth it necessarily. It's not worth the money, first of all, but second of all, it's mostly just a cherry on top if you've already got Berserk, so if you've got Berserk, you don't even need Haste. And then Flare is Flare. If you have it, cool. If you don't, I mean, you'll be fine anyway without it, but, you know, you could just teach your Black Mage Ultima instead. It counts off of your, I think it scales off of your intelligence and your spirit, so having high intelligence, maybe not having high spirit wouldn't help you in that case, but, you know. I'm just going to take the Rune Axe that we just took out of that chest and sell it for 25,000 gil, because Maria's already got one. So I don't need it. I don't need any of the... Well, that's not true. I do need some of the treasure down here, because we will be able to use a good chunk of it. 1, 2, 3 more pieces of gear that we're going to get between here and the end of Hell that I can actually use fairly effectively, so that's what we'll do. Can I run from Chimera Strike? I mean, I got a preemptive strike. I guess I can check. Yes, I can. Good. Well, people who are Hood make this game look like a joke. No one getting the spell Minwu died for? No, unfortunately, no one's going to learn the spell that Minwu died for. I do have a use for it, but it's not through learning it. It's through something else. So, not to worry, Ultima will see more use in Soul of Rebirth. It is much better in Soul of Rebirth than it is in the OG game. So, here we go. That's the shield that I was looking for Guy. So, the Aegis shield in this game provides status resistances, all 4 status resistances, so body, mind, matter, and death gives you resistance to. So it complements the Black Robe perfectly, and that's why Guy no longer needs the 3rd Dragon Shield that I got as a drop last time, because between this and the Black Robe, he now has resistance to all elements. The only one who's missing resistances now, so you have full resistance because Dragon Shield, White Robe. You don't have full resistances because this and this give you elemental resistance, but they're redundant with each other. This gives you mind resistance, and I think this only gives you poison, so you have mind resistance, but not body, matter, or death. And you have no status protection whatsoever, you just have elemental resistance. So we're going to need to fix that. Ideally, we'll get 2 ribbons in the final dungeon, because Lamia Queens are a random encounter. But if we don't, well, we'll only get 1, and I'll just have a use for Barrier then instead. That's fine. Holy Lance in that chest as well, so if you're using a Lance person, you can always use that. Oh, almost forgot. I don't really need this chest anymore because I got a Yoichi's Bow in the Jade Passage term in the Arcane Labyrinth last time, but here's Yoichi's Bow in this chest. Another monster in a box, though, so that's reason enough for me to get this, because it's the boss theme again. Oh good, Red Dragon, I've already fought you at this point. I fought you inside the Arcane Labyrinth, so that's just great. But we'll go back for the boss theme anyway. I am willing to, you know, keep fighting random things that will have this boss theme, even if they're going to be a joke at this point, so. You didn't get Ultima in Soul of Rebirth? Couldn't do it? Then I have got news for you, because we are going to get Ultima as soon as humanly possible in Soul of Rebirth, and you can do it pretty much as soon as you get to the area where you can teleport into it. With 400 HP on Minwu. I am not joking. So look forward to that on probably Sunday. I think that's when the first Soul of Rebirth stream is going to happen. It's a very difficult boss fight, but this game is easy if you know what you're doing, so I would rather fight a difficult boss fight for once. I'm going to Osmos because, I don't know, I have no chill. Yeah, you know what, why not? I mean, Maria's going to almost kill it just right now, so, like, whatever. And there he goes. What the fuck? How? With a lot of buffs. With a lot of buffs. That's what. That's how. So Yoichi's Bow, like I said last time, it'll cast Berserk if you use it as an item. The Holy Lance will cast Holy if you use it as an item. But again, in both of those cases, I wouldn't say it's all that worth it because they cast them, but they're always considered multi-targeting spells. So you will never get a good chunk of damage out of them unless you learn the spell and single target it yourself. So yeah, that's what I would rather. I think I'd rather just do that, honestly. You know, I can cure later. I'll treat this like the boss fight that it normally is. Do I even need haste, honestly, though? I think I'm just gonna Osmos you. And then we'll just go for Flare next turn. Like, the guy that's guarding the boss fight in Soul of Rebirth, the Ultimatum is guarded by a boss. So it can be difficult to grab, but the guy that's guarding it, well, with proper use of rows and buffs and, well, I don't know if there's really... I guess you could use some debuffs. Yeah, as a matter of fact, there's one debuff in particular that I want to get on him if possible. But, yeah, if you use debuffs and stuff properly, and buffs on yourself, you can probably squeak by. I'm specifically limiting myself by trying to do it as soon as humanly possible because it will be a challenging boss fight, and, well, by this point in the game, most boss fights just devolve into me doing this, and the boss fight is over in 3 turns or less, so... Having a boss that actually requires me to think will be refreshing, so... There you go. Hot damn. Firion, not exactly getting up to where Maria is with the Rune Axe, but hey, it's doing pretty good damage, all things considered. I think, if I remember correctly, Guy's other piece of armor that I'm probably going to give him is also on this floor, so he's just getting a whole bunch of stuff from the Jade Passage before we leave. That's not his upgrade, though. That's just a high potion. That door's empty. There's the upgrade, a Protect Ring. It gives protection from instant death. I could probably give it to Maria for right now, though, because she doesn't have protection from instant death. It won't save her from the Matter Elemental spells that might be coming her way, but... Are we going to get hit by death anywhere in the final dungeon? As a matter of fact, I think we can. I'm pretty sure... No, you know, I'm just going to give it to Guy. It's fine. If we have our mages, we can get everybody back up. But, I think one of the enemies that we're going to fight in the final dungeon has a chance, like their physical attack has a chance of inflicting instant death, but... I mean, we've got enough dodging at this point, we've got enough evasion, we should be fine. I can run from you. So I will run from you. Gotta find a fight where I can actually use Cure here, but... Not really finding any of those at this point. There's another elixir, so if we need more heals, but... I mean, I have like 7 full heals just sitting in my pocket already, and I haven't even used one of them, and we're already at the bottom of the Jade Passage, basically, so... do I fight you and give it the chance? I mean, it's a preemptive strike, so I can use the opportunity to heal and maybe practice a little more flare, I guess. Wow, that actually didn't do nearly as much damage as I thought it was going to. Love how there's just a canon path to the Palace of Hell in this game. See, and honestly though, I feel like in a way it makes sense, because like, it's the way that the monsters can't just get to the they don't just teleport to the planet, you know what I mean? They need a way to get here. And the way that they get here is to go through this passage that takes them directly. There's just a road that leads from Hell to the planet and vice versa. Like, I think about that at this point because I actually started, I was realizing, oh yeah, you know, I'm probably going to need something else to do because I'm not at school yet. I finished Final Fantasy V recently, so I don't really have a project. And the next project I'm going to play is like an action game, so I'm not going to, you know, have anything to do off-screen for it. I don't do research or anything like that, so I started playing Final Fantasy VI again. I got to the Phantom Train, and I realized just how ridiculous the whole Phantom Train thing is. It's like there's just a train that departs from a station in a forest and takes souls to the afterlife. And instead of questioning it in any way, like, how does that work? There's just no logic. It's just like, oh, cool, a train, and you just kind of ride it as far as it'll go. You don't go to the afterlife in it. You stop the train with your bare hands, and then, well, it just sort of lets you off. And you don't get to question it, and it's like, how does that even work? Like, what? I don't know, maybe I'm just BSing, I don't know. Did I do a 4-job run of 5? No, I just did a regular old run. I limited myself to 3 jobs per character, but that's not really a limiting thing. It wasn't a 4-job fiesta. I did it before the 4-job fiesta started. So I didn't really limit myself in any way. I sort of just went in unrestricted, and I was like, oh cool, I can beat Omega and Shinryu with this setup. I mean, I could have done it on a 4-job fiesta as well, if I got the right jobs, but, you know. Alright, let's give ourselves some full heals. just go all the way down with the 4 elixirs. We have 25 more, and I didn't even spend all my money. So that'll be cool to use later. We'll save, and then we will head inside the Palace of Hell, Pandemonium, after I get into a fight with guys I can run away from. Bye. I mean, you're welcome to join me in hell if you want, but... Turn the music up. Oh, the final dungeon music in this game is so good. Oh my lord, Pandemonium goes so hard. It doesn't even really matter which version of the game you play either. Like, even the Pixel Remaster has a halfway decent version of Pandemonium. It lasts way too long, in my opinion. Like, the track... I think the person making it decided, oh, we want to make this sound like it's the background theme in a Final Fantasy XIV dungeon or something, because the track extends for like a minute and a half before it loops. But you only get to hear the first 20 seconds of it because you're always running into monsters, so you never get to hear the whole thing unless you stand still. I don't know what they were thinking, and it had... Okay, I can at the very least excuse it a little bit, because at the very least you can hear the percussion in that one. But, like... I don't know, I think I'm just messing again, because, like, it's... I just like to rag on the Pixel Remaster, because it's just such a lazy port. Oh look, Death Riders, everybody's favorite. Leon murdered them. So these guys are weak to fire. They can hit you, I believe they have 13 chances to hit you, and they drain HP per hit, so... If you don't have evasion at this point, these guys will most likely kill your melee attackers. Again, they're weak to fire, so you can kind of just single target them and blast one of them down completely. They have lots of really good items that they'll drop for you, though. Thunder Spears, I believe they can drop ribbons, if I remember correctly, so... Some really solid stuff all the way around. If you run into an ambush with Death Riders, you're probably up a creek, but we shouldn't be getting ambushed by basically anything at this point, because... we have so much agility that it should never really happen. Are you weak to Blizzard like your friends on the surface? Let's see. How would a Beastmaster run of the game go? Do you even want a Dragon Whisker? You can actually get a Dragon Whisker pretty easily in 5 if you have the right jobs, because if you have a Thief, like let's say you drew Thief and you drew Beastmaster in the 4-job Fiesta, you can go into a fight with the Thief, like, or not a fight. You can go into the Shinryu fight, there we go, with a Thief, equipped with the Thief's Gloves. You can try to steal the Dragon Whisker. If you don't get it, you can actually run from the Shinryu boss fight. Like, he's actually runnable. You can leave the boss fight. So, if you don't get it, you can just run away and then open the chest again and keep trying until you get the Dragon Whisker, so... If you want it, that's probably the easiest way to get it. Reaction to the 8-mans and Endwalker being called Pandemonium. No, I don't want to go back to Final Fantasy II. Yeah, fuck these guys. Yeah, Death Riders are the bane of most players' existence. They hit really hard because they ignore your defense, they absorb your HP. It's not a fun time for most people playing this game, but I don't know. I feel like we can probably handle it pretty okay. We've got shields on, so we'll be okay. I'm just gonna work on Flare a little bit more because it might get to level 9 this way, so... Yeah, see, Leon's still got 4 chances at evasion, so he'll probably get hit in here. He gets hit a lot in most people's playthroughs, but it does concern me a little bit that he'll be getting hit more often, because that also means that he has a higher chance of gaining HP. And there is a very real possibility that we will finish this game with nobody at above 2,000 HP. Right now. So, if we play our cards right, and by that I mean Leon dodges We might get in without anybody getting over 2,000 HP. We'll see. I'm just gonna I don't think we need the fire between the two of them, but if Guy wants to get the kill, Guy can get the kill. So. But then you have to not get mauled by Shinryu. Yeah, so you still need 4 coral rings to survive the first turn, but, you know. And then you have to flee. Well, I guess if you drew Thief and Beastmaster, though, it would probably be pretty okay, because you could have 2 thieves, so then you could have 1 thief flee after the other one steals. And, like, stealing in Final Fantasy V is actually pretty good. Like, you've got pretty good odds with the Thief's Glove of getting the common item. The rare item is still rare, obviously, and that's what, the Dragon Whisker is the rare item from Shinryu. So, like, it's obviously still rare. But, if you get the common item pretty much guaranteed with Thief's Gloves equipped, at the very least then you know, okay, I need to run. And then you can just run away right away. So you'll only get hit by Tidal Wave, you'll absorb it, and then you'll run away, and then you can do it again and again and again. When I was playing Final Fantasy V, that was how I got 4 flame rings in the second world, is because there's a guaranteed red dragon fight in a monster in a box in the barrier tower. So I literally you can save in the room right before it, so you save there. Actually I did this with a time mage because I had access to return at that point, I think. Yeah. No, I just had access to fleeing, so I think I just fled from the battle. So, like, no, I think I did have access to return at the time, because I think you can buy it right before Barrier Tower. So, you steal, you get whatever item he gives you. If he gives you the flame ring, cool. If he doesn't, then he doesn't. But if he doesn't give it to you, you can just cast return over and over again until he gives you a flame ring, and then you can run away from the fight. And if you run away from the fight, the monster in a box shuts and resets, so then you can just keep opening it to get the red dragon over and over again, and then you can get 4 flame rings in the barrier tower. So I felt pretty smart when I figured that one out, if I'm honest. Alright, Mithril Golem. So this guy is the reason why we have a Thunder Spell at this point, because he has a lot of defense, a lot of magic defense, but he's weak to Thunder, so he should almost die from that, and then I think, yeah, between Leon and Maria, they should be able to pick him off after that. Yep. You farmed the sea encounter for Dragon Whiskers. Isn't it a drop from Stingray? That sucks. Like, that's a grind and a half, because Stingray is a pain in the nuts to kill, and it's only like a 6% drop rate, so I think it might even be lower. Yeah, I wouldn't want to do that. I feel your pain. That sucks. Sorry you had to put yourself through that. I don't know I think Firion, if we double up, we'll definitely kill him, and then, I don't think Leon can kill a Death Rider by himself. Here's what we'll do. We'll have Maria and Leon fight this, Mantis Devil, and then we'll kill one of the Death Riders, and then we'll kill the other one next turn. Yeah, it's a rare drop from a rare mob, yeah. Yikes. That's not a whole lot of fun. I definitely wouldn't want to put myself through that, so I feel your pain. I should move the map while I'm in the middle of this fight. There are some invisible walls in the Jade Passage in Pandemonium. I already showed you one of them in the Jade Passage, but there's a few invisible walls in Pandemonium, and we're going to look for... I remember a good chunk of them, but I don't think I know all of them. But we're going to look for a few of them, because they will help us get through here without having to wind through the mazes. I already did the Arcane Labyrinth last time. I don't need to keep doing it over and over again. There weren't any floors that were based on Pandemonium, though, unfortunately, but I guess that's for the best, because then that makes this music hit all the harder, so... I also love the little details of, like, the crystal walls and everything. Like, everything here is made out of crystal or glass, and then there's these pulsating crystals for the teleport gates. I just love those little details, because these didn't move in any of the other versions of the game. I don't think they move in the Pixel Remaster either, so... I don't know, it just is a nice little detail. God, the PSP version of this game is just so nice. Ah, I forgot, Devil's Bloom prevents me from running. Okay, then I guess we'll do this the hard way, won't we? We'll teleport, and we'll do that, and we can do that, and we can do that. It's a 6% drop? Yeah. Yeah, that's a rough time, because Stingray sucks to fight. You can't kill it, like, quickly in any way, shape, or form that I know of. And then it's only a 6% drop, so that's not much fun. I mean, you can get it before, you know, you go to the Void that way, but I don't know. You really don't need it outside the Void. You really only need it for Shinryu, honestly, and the bonus dungeon. But, I mean, you can get it from Shinryu, and then you have it for the bonus dungeon, you know. So. Nope, not there. I think I gotta go up and around, and then there's one, so... But yeah, I didn't mention this before, but Lamia Queens are a normal encounter in here now, so... I think I can kill with Holy. Although I might be better off using Osmos on the Queen, and then... No, I don't think Maria can kill one, so let's let her kind of double up here. Turn this one into a Toad, and then we'll go from there. I mean, between the two of them, it's only 3 of them, so like 2 Lamias and a Queen, so we should be fine to take them out. This version of Hell Palace is actually really cool visually. Yeah, I really like the details of everything around here. It oozes with just, I don't know, like high fidelity to me. And I love how the graphics of this game still hold up to this day for me. Like, it's kind of ridiculous. I don't know how they did it, but the sprite work just still looks good. I mean, granted, it probably looks a little like... I don't know how to describe it. It probably looks just a little bit fuzzy now, because it was on a, you know, a small PSP screen at the time, but like, I don't know. I still think it looks pretty good, all things considered, so... so we can fire you. I think you can kill that guy. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure Maria could have killed the Beast Demon because the Rune Axe hits spellcasters for extra damage, so maybe I should have just had her hit the Beast Demon. Because I know Leon would have killed the Devil's Twin himself. The Excalibur is atrocious. That being said, there's another sword in here that we can get him that is even better than the Excalibur, so... It'll probably look familiar if you remember my Final Fantasy 1 playthrough. Because I think if I remember correctly, I forget who I equipped it on in 1, but we definitely had it, so... Alright, top everybody off. Leon has about 5 more HP increases between here and the end of the game before he gets to 2,000. Maybe 6 if I get lucky, but... Yeah, here's the first secret passage wall. Saves you a little bit of running around there, so that's kind of nice. Alright, so those were the first 3 floors. Now we get to the tough stuff, the 4th floor and up. I'm not necessarily saying that it's going to be that tough. We can run from Coeurls, so it's not necessarily that difficult. But now, you have a choice to make. There are 4 doors in front of us. One of them leads further into the dungeon, and the other 3 lead to treasure. So we just need to find which one is which. I'm going to burn these elixirs even though I don't need to. Just because. And actually, you know what I'm going to do? So that I don't burn up in this room, I'm going to go turn on the air conditioner again. Hold on. Gives you all a little chance to keep listening to the good music. So. Yeah, so basically there's a teleporter in one of the 4 rooms, and you need to find it in order to get above where these doors are to the other teleporter that leads further into the palace. So we're going to go through all of the rooms, though, because all of them have premium treasure in them. Well, excuse me, premium treasure in them. And by premium treasure, I definitely do not mean the kind of premium you would expect it to be. First one we're going to go through is the far left one? Far left one, I think. It's got the only piece of treasure in these 2 doors that I care about. But basically, there's 2 rooms. There's 4 doors, but 2 rooms. The 2 left doors lead to the same room, but you get to go to the left side or the right side. And then same thing for the other 2 doors on the right. Same, like they both lead to the same room, but one's to the left side and one's to the right side. So, alright, so let's go wandering around. Definitely no secret passage at the end of that hallway. And I could probably kill you guys with Holy. Could I kill you with Flare? I guess I can try. It's level 9 now, so it might just get the job done. We shall see. This killed your soul as a kid. This game was so hard. Yeah, as a kid, I couldn't do it. Like, that is exactly enough, guy. Perfect. That's exactly how much HP he has. Fantastic. Yeah, as a kid, I couldn't do this. Like, I never saw this as a kid. I'm glad that I figured out how the game worked, though, as an adult, because it made it a lot easier for me to just, like, you know, find all of this, and then you could see a place like this and go absolutely hog wild about it, because it's like, oh my god, this place is beautiful looking, and the music's fantastic, and, you know, you just keep going. I could talk about this version of the game and some of the high fidelity stuff that it does for a long time. Quite a long time. That's why I keep contemplating making that retrospective video about it, because someone needs to do this game justice for the internet, and I don't know. I mean, I might be able to if I can find the time. I might be able to record the footage before I go back to school, honestly, but we'll see. Is this no? It's over here, right? Yeah, okay. So you don't need to use the secret passages to get to this particular chest. You could walk all the way around if you want, but I decided I would do it just for the hell of it. So we can go in this chest and grab Genji gloves. They're supposedly the most powerful gloves in the game besides the ones in Soul of Rebirth that are exclusive to Joseph, but yeah, these are guarded by a monster in a box. Borgin? I was just talking about the guy you killed. What the hell are you doing here? Well, I guess it is hell, so he would be here. He's a zombie, so he's susceptible to instant death and fire. Well, instant death with a life spell and fire. So I'm not even going to bother buffing. He'll die this turn anyway. So, yeah, he's guarding the Genji gloves. Yeah, see? Not even worth my time. Like 2,500 HP. Nothing even worth, not even worth buffing, so just get rid of him. Now, that being said, there are more invisible walls here. Go here, and I'm pretty sure this one's an invisible wall. Excuse me, Coeurls. I'm trying to demonstrate invisible walls. No, that one's not an invisible wall. Maybe it's this one? I could have sworn one of these is an invisible wall. No, you know what? It's on the other side of this wall here. Hang on. I gotta go this way to get to it, I think. Basically, there's a hidden treasure. That one is available in the other door, but there's a hidden treasure if you find your way through these passageways here. Yeah, there's one. There's another one. And there's another one. Now, this room is a monster room, so it's trapped. So every step that you take has a chance of spawning a monster. So just be mindful of that. And you might find some pretty powerful stuff in here. The Gigases are available. I think the dragons are available to fight here. So, like, you might find some powerful stuff, but we'll take care of it, you know. Beat the game, but trauma! Can we talk about all the deaths and escalations this war had? There were a lot of deaths in this war. This game had a lot of death for the time that it came out, yeah. For sure, like, holy hell. Lots of death in this game. This chest contains the most powerful sword in the game, the Masamune. So it's recurring from Final Fantasy I, and it's even more powerful than the Excalibur, even with Excalibur's extra damage to 5 out of the 8 types of monsters taken into account. The Masamune does more damage, because it's just a 50-point increase in power over the Excalibur. And if you get effective damage on monsters, your attack power only increases by 20. So this thing is going to absolutely rip through every single monster in this place. You don't even need to have Leon buff anymore unless it's a boss. Like, I wish I was joking, I am not joking. He can tear a hole through things now with that damn thing. Do I have Therion contribute? I'll have him contribute a Holy, actually. I don't really need it on the one that Guy's gonna cast fire on, so... Yeah, look, like, these Gigas have a lot of defense, and he just did 850 damage with the Masamune with no buffs. Like, that's atrocious. Like, oh my god. Yeah, what the fuck? It's a very powerful sword, but they just don't have enough defense to get rid of it, so... I don't know if you're saying what the fuck to that, or the fact that there were 2 Ice Gigases in that fight, but... Yeah, and then dragons can spawn in this room. It's a whole bunch of everything, basically, but we can handle it. It's all good. Again, we'll treat this one like a boss fight, since the game probably wants us to treat it like a boss fight, since it's a dragon. It'll give us a chance to keep practicing Protect and Berserk some more, I guess. But just check out, once we get the next turn of buffing done, just check out Leon's damage output. It's... If he gets a good chunk of Berserks out of this, it will be absolutely obscene how much damage he's going to do. He's only at Berserk level 5, but frankly, if he went much higher than that, he might hit for 4 9s. Like, if he was at the same Berserk levels that Maria's at, it's over. Like, it just... Oh, the 50 damage increase reaction to that? Yeah, that's... yeah. You would think Excalibur would have more power than it does, but, like, usually in the early Final Fantasies, Excalibur is outdone by a different sword, and in this case, it's the Masamune, so... Okay, I mean, I guess you don't have to let Leon demonstrate how powerful the Masamune is, Maria. I mean, it's not like that's necessary or something. Just demolish that guy with, like, 5,000 damage before it even happens. Okay, Now, Holy's creeping closer and closer to level 10. I don't think we'll quite get it there, but Leon will probably be at like level 7 on his Protect and Berserk by the time we get to the final boss, because we've got 3 more rooms to go, and then there's quite a few things to do after that to get us to where we need to go, so... But we'll figure it out. Yeah, I'm not gonna Osmos yet, I can do that later. She just cleaved that thing in half! Yes, she did. Yes, she did, Maria. Don't let him tell you no different. You keep cleaving things with that axe. I said it earlier in the stream, I will say it again, it's a terrible pun, but I love me a girl with a big axe. Oh, it's just too good. Maria just does so much damage with this, and it's not even like one of those like meta things. Like, she's usually not meant to be a melee character, she's usually meant to be your spellcaster, and she's still doing this kind of damage. It's kind of atrocious just how much damage she's doing, and she's catching up to Guy on HP. Like, look at that. She's got like 7 more stamina than Guy has at the moment, so she might actually genuinely catch up at a certain point to Guy. Like, if we kept playing for a little while, well, Leon would have over 2,000 HP easily by that point, but she would eventually catch up to Guy and then surpass him on his HP, which has never happened for me. Like, that just doesn't happen. So. Is that your type? I mean, she can kill any enemy that ever gets in my way, so that would be definitely helpful in a game like this, where I'm constantly fighting things that want to kill me. So, I'm pretty sure she's taken, though. Oh good, magic defense, and more magic defense. I said it before, though, it's kind of a weird sort of taken, because, like, her and Firion apparently have a relationship, but also Maria's family adopted Firion, so there's kind of like a... I don't know, I find that bizarre. Like, I find that weird, personally. Like, I think that's a little bit of a strange dynamic. I know the game came out in 1988, but it's still kind of squick to me. I don't know. When was the last time someone on the internet actually used the word squick? It's been a while, probably. I don't know. Oh, you didn't kill him. Okay, well. Maria? Okay, never mind. Leon, you can do it. Like, I just find it funny that he could just, no buffs, nothing. Over 1,000 damage with his sword. And that's not even the only sword he's swinging at the enemy at this point. Like, that's just atrocious damage. Like, way more than he should be getting. Way more than we should be getting, frankly. Oh, good. This is probably the encounter that most people dread, although I think you can get up to 4 Death Riders in this encounter, and that's even worse, but... I wonder if they're considered undead. I'm gonna try to kill one with life. I don't think it'll work, but I'm gonna try it, because why not? And then... Oh yeah, because I gotta kill the one with fire. Well, whatever, it's fine. We'll be fine. We might take a couple of dings, but it'll be alright. Stella Glow, that you with Lisette and Alto? I wish I knew who any of those were. I know what Stella Glow is, you've told me what that is, but I don't know who the characters are. No, he's not undead, or else that would have killed him. So. But yeah, see, there's your damage output, and almost goodbye, Leon. So that's why you don't want to mess with Death Riders, because they will mess you up if you are not careful, so... but I guess, you know, it's better to show that for demonstration than to just, you know, absolutely demolish them all the way through and just make it look like a complete joke. No, they're not a joke. Don't... I'm messing around with them. Don't mess around with them. They will mess you up. So... 4 Death Riders and a Golem. Trauma! Yeah, it'll happen. And Leon got more stamina out of that. Maybe I shouldn't have messed around, because now he has a higher likelihood of actually, like, getting his HP all the way up. More elixirs all the way around. We'll probably get him just over 2,000 HP, but that's okay. You know, like, whatever, it's fine. It actually helped Maria, though, because look, now she's even closer to Guy in terms of her HP. And she has, yeah, 7 more stamina than him, so she'll get, like... Every time she'll climb 7 closer, so right now she's 57, 67, 77, 87. She's 46 behind, so she'll be 39, 32, 25, 18, 11, 4. So for her to surpass Guy, she would need to get 7 more HP ups at the same time that Guy got HP ups, basically, for the rest of the dungeon. And I don't think that's going to happen, but it's fun to see that she got that close, honestly, because that doesn't usually happen for me. So, now we can run from these guys. It does help at the very least that we can still run from encounters with all of our agility in this area, because that, you know, definitely makes a difference in terms of whether or not Leon gets to that massive amount of HP that he doesn't need, so... Alright, let's open this up, because there's another sub-boss in this area guarding the Genji Helm. Oh, by the way, I haven't been equipping these because they're supposedly the most powerful most powerful armors in the game. They also are the heaviest pieces of armor in the game. And if you know how weapon or armor weight works in Final Fantasy II, you'll know why these are next to useless. They're basically just gil fodder. You can sell them and you'd get more mileage out of them, because even with all of our agility, if I had somebody equip the full Genji set, they would have 0% evasion. Like, even with 99 agility, if you equip the whole set, you'd have 0% evasion. And in here, that don't work! You have 20 more elixirs? How? You watch these and you're flabbergasted. Oh, we had a lot of money. We've just been swimming in gil for most of the playthrough, honestly. Like, and I haven't even done that much to get it. I've just sort of been getting it, like, crazy. So... Oh, we're fighting Tiamat again. We fought Tiamat in the Arcane Labyrinth as the first boss, so I guess we'll just repeat what we did there. I might use a Shell Tome this time, actually, so... Just for the hell of it. Alright, so if there are two spells that are gonna get to level 10, I think it's most likely that it'll either be Blink and Haste, or it'll be Holy and Haste. Because we use them so often, I can't imagine, like, we gotta be pretty close with both of them at the moment. Maybe not close enough to get there, but maybe. It might happen, like, during, at the end of the final boss fight, which obviously wouldn't help us because we can't gain experience from the final boss fight, but, you know. Well, if that's all you've got, I'm afraid you're going to be a little disappointed with your damage output. Me, however, I will not be disappointed in my damage output. Alright, I bought all these Shell Tomes and Barrier Tomes, so I might as well use them. Just for the hell of it. Because, why not? I mean, I guess I could buy a Mithril Mirror, but Mithril Mirrors only block black magic. The spells that Tiamat is using are not considered black magic, so it won't actually block them. So, there you go. They'd have to be using, like, Flare or, like... Fire, Blizzard, Thunder, Scourge instead. And you have been cleaved in half. Leon didn't even get very many Berserks there, and they still one-rounded you. All of these bosses, by the way, can drop some pretty decent gear for you, but we haven't been getting any of it. Not that we really need any of it, but, you know, that's fine. I definitely feel like I should at the very least update the wiki with all the hidden passages that I found on this playthrough, because, like, there's a lot of them, and the wiki lists precisely 0 of them, so I think it might be worth it to, like, just go back through my streams and look at it. Maybe I'll write an FAQ for it, I don't know. I've always thought about writing an FAQ for this game as well, and now I have video evidence of what we can do with it, so... Also on the Stella Glow thing, spoilers, Lisette and her mom took in Alto, but Lisette eventually falls for him despite their brother-sister relationship. They can be an official couple if you choose her ending. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. Like, I mean, I guess they're not related by blood, so it's fine, but if you have a brother-sister relationship growing up, I feel like that would make me feel really awkward about having feelings for a person, you know? Like, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I feel like that would make me feel awkward. Personally. Leon, you got another HP increase? What the hell, man? How am I supposed to keep you below 2,000 HP? We're only like halfway through the dungeon. Actually, the upper floors are pretty short, so like they're long walks, but like there isn't that much to do compared to these 4 doors, essentially. These 4 doors are the brunt of the dungeon, actually, so. This one, however, is a pretty short one, because it's basically a straight hallway to get to the Genji armor, I think it is. You might even be able to get into the other side from here, honestly. There might be like an invisible wall here somewhere. We'll go through the actual door, though, to get there instead. I'll check while I'm here, might as well. Probably not going to see the invisible wall on any of the stairs, but, you know. Nope, this place is completely blocked off from the other side. But it gets you some Genji armor and another sub-boss. Really? You're back again? I already fought you twice in the labyrinth. Like, please fuck off. I'll fight you some more in Nocturne. I don't need to keep fighting you here. This stupid fly. I need to get like one of those electric fly swatters and just smack him with it. He'd probably keel over dead. Like, good lord, man. Oh, not growing up, only a few years of their lives. Okay, see, that's a little bit better, honestly, because then it's not like, you know, you've known each other your whole life then, you know. So it's a little bit, I think, easier for my brain to take that way if it's not like a lifelong brother-sister relationship or whatever it ends up being, so. I think Lucette is 15 when they take in Alto 2 years before the game. So yeah, see, that's not too bad, because then it's like they're already, it's almost like a transition. They've already effectively been a couple for a while, even though it's like, oh, well, we adopted you, but like, you know. Oh, this might hurt a little bit. Furion, you might be getting a little more HP, brother. Yeah, that's fine. I'll just Shell Tome, and then Maria will kill him in one hit, and the Shell and Barrier Tomes will have been for naught, but again, at least now they're not burning a hole in my pocket. With Shell up, Furion should survive another Flare 16 if he gets a single target hit by it. So, it won't happen because Beelzebub's dead, but, you know. And I probably could put that up earlier in the boss fight, but I feel like then I might get just blasted by physical attacks, so. Although I think that guy doesn't, I don't think Beelzebub uses physicals until he loses all of his MP, so I don't think you'd have to worry about that. Yeah, why not? I'll be able to use whatchamacallit in a little while. Osmos, once we find some more Lamias, honestly. I could fight these Coeurls and get some MP back, but, like, nah. They can use Blaster 10 on you, though. This is the first game where the Coeurls have their signature move, Blaster, and it just inflicts... I think it inflicts... I think the earlier version of Blaster, there's like a Blaster 5 in the game, and that one inflicts stun, but Blaster 10 inflicts instant death, so... Yeah, you gotta watch out for that one. But, yeah, we can handle it, it's fine. Do I Osmos one of you? No, I don't think I do. I think I just kill you. That damage! Yeah, it's ridiculous. Like, Berserk is busted. It's OP as hell. And I want to be clear, this is Berserk with minimal intelligence investment. Like, Leon has high intelligence, comparatively, for a melee fighter, because he starts with high intelligence, so... But, like, Maria's been hitting for 5,000 damage, and she has, what, like 24, 25 intelligence? Okay, she has 33 because of the Black Robe, but that's with minimal investment. Now, in Soul of Rebirth, you can get a character with a solid leveled Berserk spell that has 99 intelligence. And, again, every level of Berserk adds 99 to your physical attack power. Oh boy! Something is going to have to give there, and it's definitely not going to be my damage output. I don't know if there's invisible walls in this section. There might be, but I could be wrong about that. Yeah, I guess give them the sock. Get rid of you, and then we'll let Guy sock next turn. And then we'll go from there. We have combined the East and the West. Leon is currently wielding a katana and a Western sword that has, like, I don't know, I guess a broadsword would be the best way to define it. But he's wielding a katana and a broadsword. Oh, you only had 30 left? Alright, fair enough. That's fine. That's all you can do? Alright, then. I'll send you to the re-afterlife. Goodbye. How does that even work? We're already in hell. Where do these guys go? Is that why there's so many enemies in here? Because they just keep respawning in the same place? Why, that would make sense, I guess. I think the secret passage is up here, actually. It's like right here. Yeah, there it is. So. Berserk, you wish you'd known that as a kid. Well, to be fair, like, as a kid, where are you going to find Berserk? You don't necessarily know. Like, you might encounter magicians and they might drop it, but, like, as a kid, do you really use buffs in RPGs? You know, like, it's something that most people don't do in RPGs, so, like... This encounter sucks, but I think I have to do it because the Lamia Queen is in the back there. But yeah, like as a kid, are you really going to use buffs? Like, probably not, right? So, you know. It's just one of those things you learn as an adult. It's like, no, buffs are pretty good. Use them. I mean, especially at this point. Like, if I wasn't using buffs in RPGs at this point, I've already played Nocturne. I'd have no excuse. If you don't use buffs in any of the SMT games, you're screwed, so... I would have no excuse, you see. Okay, that didn't kill, but... It was a preemptive strike anyway, so we won't get blasted. As a matter of fact, if I suck out all their MP, I definitely won't get blasted, so... I guess do that, and then I don't know if you can just clean up that guy. How about that? And then let's use Osmos on you, and then we should be good to go. Well, that didn't suck out all of his MP, but he's dead anyway, so it doesn't matter. The Lamia Queen should try to cast a spell this turn on me, though. They usually start with a spell of some kind. Oh, well, this might hurt a little bit. Nope, never mind. That is instant death on your whole party, to be clear. So that means you could just get unlucky, and if you haven't been saving, you're going back to your last save point, if you don't have high enough magic defense or instant death protection to block that. So there you go. Oh, we got another gold hairpin. Thanks, that's real grand. I definitely need more of those. I already have 4. No, but then you discovered Atlas games. Yeah, Atlas games, you need buffs in Atlas games. It doesn't really work if you don't have buffs in Atlas games. Okay, well anyway, let's open this chest too. It contains the one and only guaranteed ribbon in the game, but it also has a monster in a box in it. Oh wow, Astaroth, you're stuck in here too? Man, the Emperor's been busy. Well, anyway, it's the same thing as usual, so we'll just do the same thing as usual. This is the last sub-boss of the area, though, and the teleporter to get us further in the dungeon is actually, like, right, or rather left of this chest, so. Party-wide instant death! I love that! It's like Gates of Hell all over again. I think I already said that before. I was talking about Gates of Hell from Digital Devil Saga 1. When we played that, that was a constant looming threat, because we didn't have darkness protection at that point. And it was a dark spell. They could just petrify your whole party. And the enemies spammed it in that one dungeon. So I had to keep going back and keeping myself from... Okay, well, this might hurt a little bit. Yeah, goodbye, Leon. Yeah, he doesn't have instant death protection. I probably should have given it to him, but that's okay. I have a life spell. So we'll just let Maria go hog frickin' wild here, and then it'll be fine. I guess at least this guy's giving me a run for my money, you know what I mean? That's kind of nice. Because now I can't just absolutely annihilate him with Leon. I probably should have used Shell and Barrier on the first turn, to be fair, though. So, that's my bad. But he's almost dead anyway, so we just get a Holy off, and then the Flare, and Maria, and then we should be good. You already got a chance to practice these, so I don't know. I guess toss one of the Barrier Tomes so you don't get hit by that again. We might kill Astaroth before it happens again, though, so I don't think it's going to be a huge deal. This is the last boss that can use instant death on you, though. After this is just the trash mobs that can use instant death, so... Really, it's just a matter of avoiding them if possible. So that one gave us the toughest time, and it was still pretty easy. What did you give me? Another Mithril Mirror. Alright, fair enough. I'll add it to my collection. Okay, so first things first, let's elixir up. Because we still have 5 full heals, so we might as well. There we go. That would have cost me a lot more high potions if I hadn't done that, so... And then the ribbon we will give to... I probably could give it to Leon, but I'm going to give it to Maria, honestly. I feel like she's probably a better user of it, to be fair. I could give you the Twist Headband. Matter of fact, that's probably a good idea. You've got enough agility with the Thieves' Gloves and the Defender to still be at 99%, right? Yeah. So, Twist Headband should be pretty good for you. And I mean, to be fair, he's got good magic defense. It's 8 to 89%. It's just... Death 16 is Death 16, so, like, that's a lot of death to have to avoid, to be fair. I mean, everybody else has, like, 11 chances to dodge, so we've all got a pretty high chance of... And resistance, for that matter. Like, Maria didn't have resistance, but Furion and Guy, if they had been the recipients of that Death 16, they have resistance to death, so, like, they would have been a little bit better off. You know, I probably could also give you... What happens if I give you the Protect Ring, Leon? Hang on, let me see. I don't think Guy needs the Thieves' Gloves anymore, but what happens to your evasion? Oh, it's still 99%. Okay, well, there you go. You can have that, then. I mean, if you give him... So, if his equipment output is Twist Headband, Black Garb, Protect Ring, he has Mind, Matter, and Death Protection, so then the only thing you have to worry about is Body and then Elements, but... I don't know, this setup's fine, I guess. I don't have another Black Garb for him anyway, because I already sold it. Maria, you are almost at the point. Look at her HP. And then look at Guy's. If she gets one more... No, it's not one more HP increase. She would need 2 more HP increases in order to overtake Guy in terms of his HP, but... That's nuts. Go, Maria, go. That's fantastic. We're almost there. We're not going to hit the other side, probably, unless she gets whomped by something, but, you know. Atlas games have cool-ass buffs. In Etrian Odyssey 2 Untold, there's a cool monster skill called Power Gel. Increases attack and speed in last 3 turns. That's pretty nice, actually. That's like a Luster Candy, effectively. Well, Luster Candy also increases defense, but, yeah, same difference, so... Alright, so this is probably our final setup in terms of equipment. Furion's got full resistance from Dragon Shield White Robe, the other stuff gives agility, and the Mangosh gives him dodging, which will help him get us preemptive strikes almost every fight. Maria with the big axe. She's got a Dragon Shield, even though she doesn't need it because it's redundant with the Ribbon. Ribbon gives you full status protection and full element protection, by the way. So Fire, Ice, Thunder, Scourge, Mind, Body, Matter, and Death, all resisted with the Ribbon on. You don't need a Black Robe, you don't need nothing. If we still had that Diamond Cuirass, I could give that to her and she could equip that, but I don't still have it, so. And then she would have been at 69 defense if we did that, so that would have been nice, but I didn't keep it, so. Power Armlet just to increase your accuracy with the Rune Axe. Guy didn't use a weapon, he just uses bare hands. Aegis Shield Black Robe gives him full protection. Gold Hairpin Thief's Gloves give him agility. And then Leon's got this going on. Defender actually lets him use dual wield without having to use a shield. And the rest is status protection. And element protection mostly, so there you go. Now, to find the teleporter, we need to go this way, and I think one of these walls, yeah, is a very quick way to get to the other side here because the teleporter's in the lower left corner of the room. So. Love Atlas buffs. Use your buffs. The buffs are great in Atlas games. Yeah, they're really strong in most cases, so they just help quite a bit. I should be able to one-shot you with fire, and Guy went first, so that's good because that means that the back 2 bombs should be open for Leon to hit. So that's good. I'll get rid of one of them. Maria will get rid of another one, and then Leon can get rid of the other one. Alright, so the teleporter we're going to hit will take us to... There's an area above the 4 doors that we just went through. And then we'll hit another teleporter, and then we'll be on the last couple of floors. They're all just very linear. There's a couple of treasures to grab, but nothing particularly useful. Not like the treasures that we've been grabbing, you know. So. And then that's it. We'll be at the final boss fight. Yeah, so if you look down from here, you can actually see the doors that we just went through. Maybe even see the teleporter we came in on, but, you know. Oh, good, another one of these. Holy and Maria might be able to take one out. Did we get a preemptive strike? I didn't see. You know, maybe I should take the Death Riders out first, actually, and I can just kind of do a little bit of damage to this. You know what, you two double up. We'll have Guy get rid of that guy, and then that should help us, because then we can soften the Mithril Golem up. So the Guy can kill him with Thunder next turn. This is actually a pretty good fight. I like the design of this fight when I have enough agility to actually dodge everything, because you kind of have to pick your targets, and you're probably going to get hit anyway, because it's like, okay, do I pick the guys in the back that can absorb my HP, or do I pick the guy in the front that can slam me for, like, he has like 200 attack or something ridiculous like that, so he is no joke, but we got him, so. Probably... Most people will say, oh, I could have just one-shotted him with Thunder. Okay, fair enough. But most people will tell you, no, it's probably more worth it to just kill the Death Riders first, because they are by far the most threatening enemy in Pandemonium. They suck. Literally, they suck. Because they suck your HP right out of your body. So, and if you don't have the agility and the evasion to dodge them, good luck. It's honestly, genuinely, like... People have to play this game like for their YouTube channels because they're making like analysis videos or whatever. I'm fairly confident in saying that the Death Riders sucking all the HP out of their body is like half the reason why they all say this game sucks. Because it's the last thing you have to deal with before the Emperor does the exact same thing to you, because he also drains HP per hit. So, yeah, not a whole lot of fun for people who don't know what they're doing. But that's precisely the problem that I have, because those people that post those reviews are supposed to be expected based on, you know, the fact that, you know, you're watching them. They're supposed to be the authority on this stuff. They're supposed to be the one you go to, and it's like, oh, well, their opinion is probably going to be my opinion because they did their research in order to understand how this game works, and they say it sucks. But they're lying. They're not lying by omission, they're lying by misunderstanding. They just don't get it. And it's a problem, because it means they didn't do enough research, and then the game is misrepresented online for years, and people like me have to pick up the pieces and tell you, no, it's genuinely not that bad, you just need to figure out how the mechanics work. That's it. So, a Confused Tome! I got one! I never get one of those. Because you can't buy it. You have to get it from a Fire or a Thunder Gigas, and I never go looking for it because it's temporary status ailment. But we got one. That's one of the rarest drops you can get in this game. Awesome. Get that this game was packaged with Final Fantasy 1, but why the fuck was this sold to kids on a GBA? Oh, they couldn't sell this game by itself, from what I understand. That was the problem that the marketing department had to solve. They were like, well, you know, nobody's going to buy this game by itself. They tried to do that previously, if I remember correctly. They tried to sell this game by itself in Japan, and, like, it barely sold, if I remember correctly. So, because of that, they said, no, we got to bundle it with Final Fantasy 1 because otherwise people just won't buy it. So, I can probably toad one of you. I know Leon's going to kill the other one, so let's give it a shot. But yeah, selling this game to children... it's asking the children to understand a whole lot, honestly, because, like, there's a lot of systems that are going into this game and why things work the way that they work. Like, I don't know if kids would necessarily be able to figure this out. Mostly they would probably be like, wow, this is really hard. And that's about the only reaction you'd get. So... Man, the Lamia Queens are really trying to... oh, there it is! Look in the HP values there. I know Guy's going to get an HP increase in a few minutes, and this is going to be a moot point. Maria has more HP than Guy. Take a screenshot of that. You will never see this again. That's hilarious. Okay, I am happy that I got to show that, because that does not happen. They tarnished the game's image just to make a buck. I mean, I don't know if they tried to tarnish its image. I think they just put so many systems into the game that they figured, like, they did. I don't think they knew necessarily how much trouble this game was going to give people. So, I think they just sort of said, well, you know, we want it to be this way, but if it doesn't end up this way, that's fine. And then they just ended up with this product, and, well, you know. It's a product that's not for the faint of heart. I will say that, because it doesn't explain itself very well. I will give it that, because, like, you can get a basic understanding of the game's mechanics from the sages in some, but those sages that are in that room where we woke up, they're not even there in the NES version. They just don't exist. So you don't get any of the mechanical explanation whatsoever. So the game doesn't explain itself well. That is a legitimate criticism. I will take that as a legitimate criticism of this game. If someone was to say that, like if they were to make an honest review of the game and they said, the game doesn't explain itself very well, and that part sucks, that I would take. Genuinely, that is a legitimate criticism of the game, because it doesn't explain itself well. That's why people have so much trouble with it. But they don't say that. They just say, well, I don't understand the game mechanics, so the game sucks. And it's like, huh? Like, no, look at what I'm doing. Like, this is the video evidence right here. This is the proof. If anybody ever says Final Fantasy II sucks because you have to get hit so much, point them to this. Because it's not true. You can walk directly into hell with barely over 1,000 HP. Hell, you don't even need this much HP. The only reason we have this much is because I've been getting just HP ups every 12 battles for the entire game. You could walk in here with 650, okay, maybe 650 is pushing it a little bit, but you could walk in here with about 800 HP and be perfectly fine if you have the right buffs and stuff, so. Yeah, don't listen to the people. They're not lying necessarily. It's not on purpose. They're not doing it to be malicious. Well, they are doing it to be malicious, but they're being malicious because they don't understand. Blink is level 10. They're doing it because they don't understand. And that's a problem, because it means that the game gets a bad reputation because people don't understand it. What the fuck is Aura? That spell is a mystery to most players. So, you know how Barrier gives you resistances to elements? Aura works similarly to Barrier, except instead of that, it gives you effectiveness against monsters. So every level of Aura that hits, it gives you effectiveness against a new type of monster, because there's 8 types of monsters. So, like, Excalibur gives you effectiveness against 5 types of monsters. So Aura will give you those 5 with its first 5 levels, I want to say. I could be wrong about that, because the order is kind of arbitrary, and it's not like it's not something that you would expect. Like with Barrier, it's like the first level gives you Matter Elemental Protection, which is perfect because that's where most instant death in the game comes from, is from Matter Elemental spells. So, and the Death spell, which is like level 4. So, yeah, it's not really intuitive how it works, how Aura works, but basically what it does is it gives you effectiveness against certain types of monsters with every level of the spell that hits. And effectiveness is like using an effective weapon, so it'll give you 20 extra attack power. And that means it's completely inferior to Berserk in every way, because if you get 2 levels of Berserk with Maria, she gets more attack power out of 2 levels of Berserk than she does out of any level of Aura spell. So, yeah, it's really mostly there for flavor, but it's directly inferior to Berserk in like 99.9% of cases. Unless, the only case where it's not is if you don't have Berserk. That's it. So, oh, I guess, honestly, I wasn't thinking about it. We do have a Scourge target because Thunder Gigases are here, so. That's too convoluted for a spell. Yeah, and imagine that being on the NES and them trying to sell that as a spell that you should buy. Like, holy man, that's not gonna work. Yeah, not on purpose, but it happened, right, exactly. People didn't talk about this game's legitimate flaws. They talked about flaws that they didn't get. And that caused the game to have a bad reputation. And that sucks, because it's really not as bad as everybody says. The dungeon design, I mean, I'm going to get into this in like 10 minutes when we're done fighting the Emperor, but the dungeon design isn't as, I mean, it hasn't aged well, but it isn't terrible. If you have a map, you're fine, really. And I mean, I guess that's a problem because you shouldn't need a map, but, An acid vial, really? That's the final chest in Pandemonium? You're going to give me an acid vial? Okay, fair enough, I guess. You can Osmose this guy, actually. We can get rid of the bombs first, then we can get rid of the Thunder Gigas next turn. Because now I have all his MP, so he can't whomp me with boulders. But yeah, I don't know, it's just a shame, honestly, because I feel like this game had the potential, if it was understood better, to be not the black sheep of the series, but it's... The way that it's understood by most of the internet makes it the black sheep of the series, because that's the problem, though, right? Is like, how are you supposed to understand this game if it doesn't explain itself well, and most of the resources online just tell you stack defense and hope for the best, you'll end the game with 6,000 HP on every character except Leon, because he'll keep dying. Like, what are you supposed to do? How are you supposed to know, right? Like, you just walk into the game and it's like, okay, well, that's the expectation. It becomes reality. It's like confirmation bias. So how could you know? But now we have a full playthrough that shows video proof. No, you don't need 2,000 HP to beat this game. You don't need 6, you don't need 5, you don't need 4, you don't need 3, nothing. You can beat it with less than 2,000 HP very easily. Just fear this game, that's why you won't play it again. You grow fonder of it as you get older, though. Like I said before, I wouldn't play the Pixel Remaster version, because I just don't think it's a good port, but if you're willing to play it on an emulator, this is the definitive version, in my eyes. It's got a bonus dungeon that I actually enjoy. It's got bonus content that I actually enjoy, because it's challenging. It's got good graphics, it's got good music. Alright, so this room. So this room is a big square with a bunch of pillars, and it all looks the same. How are you supposed to know where to go? Here's the trick that always worked for me. So, you remember how when we were going to the Jade Passage, we were generally moving down because we're going to Hell, and to the right. So you're still going down, because you're still going to Hell. You're in Hell, but you're going further into Hell now. But you're going to go in the opposite direction of where you were going in the Jade Passage. So you go down, and you go to the left. Once you see a wall, you go to the left, and that'll get you to the teleporter. So that's what always worked for me, in case anybody needs like a little way of figuring that out. And here's the teleporter right here. So we can get to the final floor of Pandemonium. Something tells me there isn't a 10th circle of hell, but if there was, the Emperor would definitely be going to it. Oh, you know, if Maria gets an HP boost out of this battle, that'd be like the best thing that could possibly happen right here. If Leon gets one, I mean, he still won't get to 2,000 HP. He'd need 2 in order to get there, but... And to be fair, I think the encounter rate in this room is pretty high, so, like, we might get a couple more battles that we can't run from before we get to the Emperor, but... You like janking games. It's more fun deciphering them. Yeah, it makes the games like a little puzzle then, you know what I mean? And I always enjoyed figuring out mechanics and stuff. Puzzles like that just make me happy in games. Like, it feels like you're figuring something out. It's like learning a new language, and that's always been fulfilling to me, so there you go. Love this room's design. It's pretty, yeah, it's super awesome looking. It's got like this transparency thing. It looks like you're in space, but you're actually in hell. It's awesome. I like it quite a bit as well. I'm just gonna spam Holy and Flare. Probably won't even get the spells off, honestly, but... Okay, well, we got Holy off. What if we got Holy 10 from this? That would be... I don't know where it's at in terms of its bar, but that would be kind of funny. Flare won't get to 10, but... Unfortunately, the only spell we did get to 10, it looks like, is Blink, but oh my god, Leon! That man might have had a family! Slow down! That was 9,000, like, 9,800 collective damage. He did more with the Defender. What the fuck? Okay, anyway. Ah, yes, my prey. My prey awaits. 4 last elixirs. And let's wrap this up, shall we? So there we go. There's our stats in the end game. 24.5 hours later, and nobody has 2,000 HP. Alright, close off my map, won't need that anymore. I might use the, you know what I might do is I might use the Shell and Barrier Tomes on the first turn, actually. I might have Maria and Leon throw them, because I think they might be more useful than casting Protect on the first turn. The Emperor has a lot of nasty spells, so it might be worth it to do that. It is kind of a shame that Guy got an HP increase, though, because that means Maria is not going to have more HP than him in the end game, but, like, we got so close, you know. We have over 1 million gil to our names. I mean, I guess we could walk around a little bit until she gets one. It's not like I don't have time. Haven't mastered any game, but you play many at a high AF level, still call yourself bad, though. I mean, that's just part of the process, though, right? Like, you always feel like you're bad at it until you look at someone who's truly bad at the game, and then you're like, wow, I'm not nearly as bad as I thought at it. So, I'm gonna walk around a little bit. You can wait for me, Emperor. I'm gonna kill you in, like, 5 turns anyway, but you can wait. I'm gonna try to farm for an HP boost here. I don't think it's going to work, but I'm going to try. I've got enough elixirs, so it's not like I need to worry about that too much. Of course, the more that I do this, the more powerful the spells that I'm using are getting, which is going to make the final boss fight even easier than it already is going to be, but... Yeah, no. I'll do, like, 3 battles. How about that? If we don't get an HP increase from Maria in 3 battles, we'll just fight the Emperor and call it a day. I don't want to do too much here, because we might get haste to level 10, we might get Berserk on Leon to, like, level 7. That's just way too much. Like, that's extra. We're doing more work than we need to at that point. So. Friends always call you good? You watch Divinities play games then. I mean, honestly, like, people will post videos on the internet. I mean, some people will post them because they're genuinely bad at the game and it's funny to watch them. But some people will post them and think they're good and they'll actually be bad. Like, I mean... I hate to beat a dead horse here, but look at the way that this game is covered on the internet. Like, most of the people that are playing it are not particularly good at it, but they still post the videos. And I don't mean to rag on people. Again, it's not their fault, right? It's just a lack of understanding that causes people to not be good at this, you know? But once you get it, then it's over, you know? Okay, Leon got HP there, which means he has another... 12 battles before he'll get his HP up. So let's just keep trying for Maria. I want her to have more HP in the end game than Guy. It's like, it's one of those things that's definitely not required, but it's definitely something I want, because it's just, you'll never, 3 fire gig assists? Oh, what the hell. Yeah, you'll never see it again, that's the point, so that's why I want to do it, because it's just one of those things. You guys can probably kill that one by yourselves, right? Yeah, wow. Okay, I'll take it. Not even worried about teleport missing. I know that's gonna hit at this point. We all know how good teleport is at this point. It's a pretty good spell. Oh, I got a flame sword. Alright, like 1 or 2 more fights, and then I think I'm just gonna call it. Like, the game's already over. You already all know it's over, right? Like, it's, I don't have to continue this charade, right? Like, we all know what's about to happen, but I want Maria to have this. She needs something today. I mean, she's been dealing massive damage, so she's already gotten something. She cleaved the dragon in half earlier, but I want her to have this. She'll never have it again, anywhere else on the internet, so I want her to have this. That might do it, actually, because that might get her the HP increase that she needs if she rolls correctly on the HP there. Okay, well, we'll see. This might be it. What if Guy gets an HP increase here as well, though? Like, what the hell? I mean, it wouldn't matter then because she has more stamina than him, so she would still get more, but, you know. And Blink is one of those spells, though, let me tell you. It, it really ends up carrying itself by the end game, doesn't it? It's just so atrociously powerful. You know, I didn't explain that, actually. One thing you can do in this game... Oh, why did I do this? I was asking for it, and here it is again. Oh my god. Fuck! Save that luck for later! Please! I'm begging you! Stop it! Now you're just taunting me! I don't get an HP increase, and I get a fourth... Like, just come on, man. Like, this is stupid. At this point, I don't even know anymore. I'm ready. I'm ready to go. I'm already, my brain's already out the door. I'm just waiting for the HP to go up. Maria is a literal incarnation of Penthesilea at this point. She is whipping them good, that is for sure. I'm pretty sure Penthesilea doesn't have a whip normally, but... No. There it is. Maria's HP increased. We have matching elemental swords, even. Alright. So, 4 more elixirs down the hatch. We still have 9 left. What the hell? And there you go. There's our final stat output for everybody. And I might as well show the actual stats as well. So, here's everybody's full stat output and their equipment as well. Firian's got all that stuff. He got maxed out Spirit. He almost maxed out his Agility, but as you can see by what we've done, you don't need max Agility in order to get preemptive strikes like freaking crazy, so there you go. And he's in the back row, by the way. I should mention that because Maria's in the front row for the first time ever, basically, on most of these playthroughs. But there she is, level 10 on her weapons. There's your stats. You don't really need high strength if you're using a weapon that has higher accuracy, but she's using like a weapon with some of the lowest accuracy in the game, so that's why she needs the higher strength. And her agility is fine, absolutely great for what she needs it to be. Here's Guy, got a whole bunch of magic defense on him, and yeah, his intelligence actually buffed out pretty nicely by the end game. I'm happy with where he ended up, so didn't get too high on his spells, like we didn't get a level 10 spell for him, but he's doing pretty good. And then there's Leon, actually dual wielding. He has almost 6 evasion, which is really the end point if you get... And he has 99% magic defense as well now, so if he just got a few more points in that left number, he'd be a god, effectively. He'd dodge everything. He might still dodge everything anyway, but yeah, if you want to effectively dual wield in this game, put the Men Gauche or the Defender in your offhand. Both of them will work for you. And there's his stats, kind of middle of the road for everything, but that's fine. You don't need massive stats in order to do this, so... But there we go. That's the end game. We're all ready to go. Maria has higher HP than Guy. That's all I wanted. You'll never see it again anywhere else. This is a world first, at least video format-wise. So here we go. Let's fight the Emperor. I'm going to read his dialogue because I love the translation here. You have braved the bowels of hell to reach me. But the hand of man, which deals in false justice and forsaken love, can never hope to defeat the Lord Master of Hell! God, I love the translation. This is gonna be a slaughter. Well, we got a preemptive strike already, so I'm pretty sure you're not wrong. Alright, so, first things first, we'll do the Barrier Tome, and we'll do the Shell Tome, because we didn't get another ribbon, actually, which is kind of surprising, but, hey, I'll take it, you know, that's fine. It'll make things more interesting. So we'll do Barrier, we'll do Shell. Again, the reason why I'm using Barrier and Shell as a tome is because it casts a level 8 version of the spell, and it doesn't take into account the spirit of the person casting it. It casts it as if they have between 40 and 50 spirit. So that means we're practically getting all 8 levels of both of them by just using it as a tome. So you don't need to learn them. If you learned them previously, it's probably a waste of money. So there you go. I actually learned that this playthrough, though. I did not know that before this playthrough started, so You learn something new every time you play this game, and that's one of the reasons why I enjoy it so much. But we'll talk about that soon enough. You like his GBA sprite better? Yeah, honestly, this one is more in line with Amano's original artwork for this one, but, like, I don't know, I kind of like both of them. He looks a little bit more like the Lord Master of Hell in this one, I think. Like, he's more ominous and nebulous, I guess, in this one. But I don't know, I mean, I guess it's personal taste, you know what I mean? I like this one quite a bit, but it's up to personal taste, so. Alright, start the Holy and Flare spam, we'll get Berserk going, and then, well... He's only got 15,000 HP, if I remember correctly, so this probably won't take very long. You know, he's so big, I might as well use the target all versions of these spells as well, so it looks like it's hitting his whole body. It doesn't change the damage output of the spells either, so... And honestly, if that was what we were doing, like, if you played this whole game with just magic, we'd probably be okay, because, like, that's solid damage. We did, like, 1,600 damage a turn with just 2 people, so that's pretty good, all things considered. Yeah, I'm just gonna hold off. You know, I might as well cast Cure, actually. I'm never gonna get a chance to do this again, so I might as well, just while we've got an opportunity here. Hey, look, our Cure spell's only level 8 in the endgame. You'll also never see that again. Okay, yeah, well, that's it, it's over. I didn't even cast the target all version, that's okay. Oh wow, Maria didn't get quite as many hits as I thought. He does drain HP per hit though, so there you go. That's one thing that you want to be mindful of. Oh, I didn't do the thing I was going to do. We'll have everybody else defend this turn. The reason why I've held on to the Ultimatome is because I'm going to use it as an item on him. So we'll have everybody else defend this turn. I was originally going to do it before we dealt any damage to him, like the crystal that you have to use to deal damage to Zeromus in Final Fantasy IV, but I forgot. I was too busy having fun, so let's just use it on him now. Throw it directly at him, blow him up, and then maybe this... I don't think this will be the final blow. You know what? Nope. That was worth it. That was completely worth it. Did you see the damage number there? Nice. I will take it. It's good, you just like his GBA sprite. Yeah, I mean, that's fair enough, you know what I mean? Like, he's got the staff and everything in the GBA version. In this version, he must have thrown the staff away because he doesn't have it. He's just kind of spooking me. But I'll take it. Ultima for 69 damage. I will take it. Alright, target all versions. We might not even get it off because Maria's about to cleave him in 2. Okay, never mind. Yeah, we stuck the landing at the very end of the game. I'll take it. But yeah, with all the dodging we have with Blink, he can't touch us with his physicals. So no drain touch for you. And that's it. The Emperor's gone. You won't be getting your groove on in hell anymore, Emperor, because I have sent you to the 2-step death. That doesn't make any sense. Doesn't matter. He has no new groove anymore. He's dead. Like, for sure this time. He's not coming back. I mean, where could he come back from? Like, where's he gonna go after this, right? He's already in hell. Yeah, well, you left yourself open, so I took my opportune moment. What, no fun guy at the very end? No, that'd be a reference to a comic relief character. We can't have that in this game. Alright! We did it! Hell's chair is empty, and, I mean, we could sit on the throne, but I feel like that'd be kind of boring. So, let's go back home. Metroid says hi. Tell him I said hello back. Hope he's doing well. Yeah, this time it's actually over, Princess. We've defeated the Emperor. I don't know where Satan is, to be fair. He's got to be around here somewhere, but he wasn't in hell. Maybe he was a rare encounter. So. Nice. Well, glad to hear you got your confidence out of this whole thing, Gordon. I'm pretty sure your brother would be proud. Yeah, I think so. So what are you gonna do now, Paul? Put you out of work? Yeah, that's my bad. Sorry. I mean, you wouldn't have been able to steal from him while he was in hell, to be fair. Like, it's kind of rough going in the Jade Passage for one person. I'm not gonna lie. So, oh boy. So I guess our next adventure will feature Paul trying to steal from us. That seems a little more tame than going to hell and killing the Lord Master of Hell, so. You pegged me, huh? Poor choice of wording, and I didn't even have to phrase it this time. Nah. Now, I want you to watch the sprites here, though. Watch Firian's sprite and watch Layla's sprite, because I like the little detail here. There's something going on there. I know Firian and Maria is like the canon thing, but there's something going on between Firian and Layla. He put his head down when she walked away after talking about his next battles. I don't know if that's in reference to what's going to happen later in the scene, or if it's in reference to the fact that they have unrequited love. I'm pretty sure it's the latter. My headcanon says it's the latter. I'd rather Firian and Layla get together than Firian and Maria. It just feels weird with Firian and Maria together. Nice. Looks like you're finding some purpose, so that's good. Oh man, I think I spent too long in hell. I'm seeing the dead now. Although, would he go to hell? I mean, I guess he would because we've killed people, so maybe he would. But, I mean, wouldn't we have seen them in hell? If they were in hell? Huh. Maybe they went to heaven. There's got to be a heaven in this universe, right? I mean, there's a hell, so... Guy, you are so right. War finally over. We can finally rest on our laurels. Well, actually about that. You know how overpowered we are at this point, Maria? You know how many people probably people don't want us dead anymore because the Emperor is dead and the Empire is in shambles, but we are currently the strongest beings in existence, and we have seen some shit. So, I don't know if we can do that at the moment, Maria. He's got his own battles to fight. He was brainwashed by the Emperor for so long. We need to give him some space. But we'll always be here when you're ready, Leon. Yeah, so unfortunately the whole gang doesn't get back together at the very end of the game. But, again, we've spent too long in hell. Or maybe we haven't, because they're probably smiling down on us from heaven, but... At least we know we carried on their legacy. Their deaths weren't in vain. We finished the war. A whole bunch of people died. Not everyone died, but a whole bunch of people died. But now we can go on adventures without having to worry about hell anymore. Because their long struggle was finally at an end. The Emperor, Pandemonium, the monsters plaguing the world, maybe not the hornets, they're just wildlife, all had vanished without a trace. Pretty sure the wildlife's still here. They're not the monsters the Emperor summoned. So they're still monsters, but not nearly as challenging as some of the actual monsters from hell. And peace had returned once more. You know it's peace times because the doves are flying. The wounds of the war would mend. And the memory of those bitter days would fade. Just like Final Fantasy I? No, not like Final Fantasy I, but because one thing would never be forgotten. That a band of young heroes once saved the world. So in Final Fantasy I, you fix the time loop, but your actions are never remembered. The people of the world move on without you. In Final Fantasy II, you get a little bit of glory at the end because everybody remembers who you are and what you did for them. I always got a little warm feeling out of that whole thing at the very end. But that's it. That's the game, everybody. We've completed Final Fantasy II. What can I say about this game that I haven't already really said? I feel like the video evidence is proof enough of how I feel about it, if I'm honest. Like, this is a game that I grew up with as a kid and I despised. I could not beat it worth a damn. It was too difficult. I turned on cheat codes on the damn Game Shark, on the GBA version, the Dawn of Souls version of this game, and I massacred it because I was so sick of it. I just gave myself max stats and I just wombo comboed through the game because I couldn't stand it anymore. I wanted to beat it. I loved Final Fantasy I as a kid. By comparison now, I feel like I've flip-flopped on them because now that I actually get how the mechanics work in Final Fantasy II, it is so much more enjoyable of a game once you understand how its mechanics work. I cannot even describe in detail how much of a breath of fresh air it is to play this game and know what you're doing by comparison to previously when I had no idea what I was doing. It's just so much more enjoyable to play it when you get it. And that's the problem, because again, as I've said multiple times at this point, there just aren't a lot of resources on how to play this game well on the internet. There's not a lot of good documentation that talks about what things do. Hell, genuinely speaking, we've played this game and I've done it to the point where I can tell you, okay, we kind of knew what we were doing on this playthrough. Like, I've played it pretty well. I still don't know what the Dispel spell does in this game. I still couldn't tell you if it's an anti-barrier, an anti-shell, if it just flat out doesn't work like in the NES version where it does nothing. There are still things about this game that I just don't know. And I think that's one of the reasons why I keep coming back to it as well, because it's just, once you know what you're doing, it's enjoyable to just kind of play through it. It's fairly simple. Like in the end game, I mean, it was the same strategy for every boss fight, so there wasn't really a lot of complicated things to do. And I guess that's a bit of a shortcoming, because it doesn't feel like you're strategizing a whole lot. Once you know what you're doing, you kind of just do the same thing over and over again, and you're fine. But yeah, it's just kind of enjoyable to come back to it, learn something new every now and then just play the game the way that I usually do. I can, make a different loadout, I can choose different weapons. It's another reason why I don't like playing the Pixel Remaster version, because the intelligence and spirit penalty that was in the original NES version is also in the Pixel Remaster version. So if you want to use magic in the Pixel Remaster, you have to basically either use your bare hands or have a knife or a staff in your hand. If you have anything else, you get a minus 70 to your intelligence or spirit when you're casting a spell. So don't do that. It just makes it really hard for build variety to happen. And that's why I like the Dawn of Souls version and the PSP versions the best, because they have interesting post-game content, which is something you'll never hear me say about most games, because I don't play the post-game content in most games. We'll get to that later. We've already done the Arcane Labyrinth, and that's probably my most... Out of all the bonus dungeons in the Final Fantasy games that I've played, that's probably my favorite one. And then there's still more bonus content to come, so we'll get more into that when we do Soul of Rebirth, but... Yeah, no, it's just enjoyable to play once you get it. You know what I mean? It's just... And I don't know necessarily if now I'm getting any catharsis out of playing it and knowing what I'm doing. I feel like all the catharsis is gone, and I can just enjoy it for what it is. And that's just such a refreshing feeling, especially because there are other good things on top of that. For the time the game came out, I think the story was very ambitious. They wanted it to be even more complicated than this. They wanted to have flags in the game where you could pick and choose how the game plays out, and eventually you could choose to either destroy the Empire, or you could get yourself destroyed, you could get some people killed, you could choose who lives and who dies. They wanted to do what Ultima did in Ultima 4 and 5 with this game, but they wanted to do it on the NES rather than a computer, and that was where the limitations came in. They had to cull a whole bunch of it out of the game. So, but the key term system that's in the game is very much inspired by Ultima, in case anyone was curious where that came from. Ultima had a very similar system, but you could type in words, and then the game would recognize some of them and would give you extra information. So that's where that came from. So you didn't use Dispel at all? Yeah, and honestly, that's most people don't, because it's what good is it? You know what I mean? It's just, you could use it and try to make it work, and if it works like anti-barrier, it might help you with applying Curse to enemies that are resistant to Mind. But why would you do that when you could just cast Berserk? Because then you don't have to go through as many steps. You could just cast Berserk, and it's a self-buff, and then you don't have to, Dispel and Curse one enemy at a time. You can just Berserk, done. So, I don't know. It's just one of those things. Dual-wield lances, it's funny. We did kill the Emperor so fast. It didn't take long. And I want to be clear, a lot of people go into the endgame with the Blood Sword equipped. The Blood Sword that we got in Paul's house. And you can kill the Emperor that fast with the Blood Sword if you have sufficient sword levels, because the Blood Sword deals fractional damage, and it works on the Emperor. So, if you got 16 hits on the Emperor, you'd kill him that fast. Now granted, getting 16 hits with a 0% accuracy weapon is not going to happen, but it doesn't take very many rounds to kill him with it, because it deals percentage damage. Just like how the Undead can drain your HP and deal percentage damage that ignores defense, so... But obviously I didn't want to use the Blood Sword. It's kind of broken. It's not really worth it in my opinion, because you could just play the game this way and you'd get just as much damage without having to worry about the low accuracy. So the other good thing about this game, I can't really stress it enough, the music in this version of the game, basically the PS1 version and on, the NES version of the music in the NES version was fine. It's just that it doesn't have that percussion undertone to it, which is very important in a game about war, because marching to the beat of a drum is something that you do in war when you're trying to demonstrate something. So having that drum, that percussion in the background to sort of drive you forward, I always appreciated that, and they really sort of emphasized more of their percussion in this version. Tsuyoshi Sekito did a great job with the remixing in the PS1 version of the game's soundtrack, which is the one that was carried over to the PSP version. So, yeah, all in all, I enjoy Final Fantasy II quite a bit, and I know that's not really an orthodox opinion to have on the internet. Most people think that it's one of the worst in the series, or at the very least, they just don't enjoy it. Again, I feel like that comes from a fundamental misunderstanding of the game's mechanics, and I feel like if they had better documentation to work with, they would be able to appreciate it for what it is. But if you can approach the game on its own terms, there's no greater feeling than understanding how this game works and really making it work for you. So that's my 2 cents. I said before, it usually makes my top 5. I'm going to say out of all the Final Fantasies, it's pretty solidly at number 3 for me. Like, I thought about the other 2 that are in the top 5 that I might rate above it, and I said, no, honestly, one of them is definitely number 5, like, all the way through. And then the other one, I think I like this one a tad better. So I'm going to say this is probably my 3rd favorite Final Fantasy game. So there's your unorthodox opinion for the day. There you go. Didn't have that. Don't remember what anyone had, but Guy had 2 rune axes. And that will deal a lot of damage. Without Berserk, it might not, but it will deal a lot of damage. You'll just take a lot of hits in the process. Because you get, like, no evasion. You get 1% evasion per level of axes with axes, so that's not a ton to work with. Excuse me, especially if your agility's low. All right, now, you can save your game clear data once you beat the Dawn of Souls and PSP versions of Final Fantasy II. This will allow you to play through the bonus dungeon, so the Arcane Labyrinth. You can play through it as many times as you want, although we could do that anyway already because we didn't kill Daemuian when we did the Arcane Labyrinth previously. If you kill him, you can't use the Labyrinth anymore because you have the Destroy Tome and he can't give you a reward. We could also browse the art gallery, but saving your game clear data is also important because it will allow you to gain access to Soul of Rebirth. So, I'm going to save it right here, and then what we'll do is we will come back on the next episode of Final Fantasy II The Stream Edition, because we are not done. There's a whole nother campaign left in the form of Soul of Rebirth. And that's what we'll work on probably for the next 3 to 4 streams. It's about a 7 to an 8 hour campaign depending on how the drop rates are. There's exactly 6 items that I need enemies to drop in Soul of Rebirth for us to be good to go. Granted, 3 of them are the rarest drop that an enemy can drop, but I think we'll be okay. We will find out if my luck will carry on from the luck that we had on the original playthrough, the main story campaign, or if my luck runs out on the next episode of Final Fantasy II The Stream Edition, which will most likely be happening on Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, where we will start up the Soul of Rebirth campaign. But for now, that's going to do it for the main campaign of Final Fantasy II The Stream Edition. Thank you for watching, everybody. I appreciate you coming out to Twitch and YouTube to check out the stream. I hope you enjoyed the game. I did, for sure. I don't know necessarily if it's a project that people would enjoy, because it's a game that a lot of people don't enjoy, but I hope at the very least the process of me breaking down how this game's mechanics work have helped at least a few people look at it in a different light, because it deserves to be looked at on its own terms on the internet, and it often doesn't get that chance. So I hope that I've helped it be presented in a better light than most of the internet does. And maybe I'll do that retrospective one day and then it will get the respect that it deserves. Maybe. Honestly, if I made a retrospective video with with cold open, so like that's the next fancy edited video I put on the other channel, it would get maybe 1,000 views total. So, and I think the people that would look it up are already going to be the people that like actually appreciate the game, so I don't think it would change too many opinions, but I don't know. I still feel like this game needs to be looked at in a better light, and maybe I'll do it. But for now, that's it for the main campaign. So, like I said, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I will see all of you on the next one on Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, where we'll start Soul of Rebirth. And I'll post up the schedule on Twitch, YouTube, and Discord shortly after the description for this video is done. Until the next one, everybody, or wherever I see you next around the internet, I hope that you'll take care and have a good one. You won't be looking at me like that for very much longer, Mr. Emperor. You might be on the title screen here, but that is the only place you're showing up from now on. You, sir, are dead. Or is he?